Nixon. Hello and hello and hello out there. It is Jeff McKinney, the Techpreneur for the people. Most of the time known as TechP, but today I'm not really sure what to call myself. Nixon, can I help you? It's been a different day. And so maybe, I don't know. We'll talk to mommy, but possibly. So, yes, I was supposed to potentially take my kids to the movies today. I had planned to get up, work out, come home, do some work. But there's this lingering issue that's been going on. And this lingering issue has been going on since last Friday when I woke up, got off a call with my daughter's school. We had a beautiful call. And as I went to go into my work tools, of course, I used ChatGPT. ChatGPT and I, we got a thing, and it works. If you ever seen anything from me, like I really like what I do. I think we're going in the right direction. I would consider, the Techpreneur for the people a responsible user of AI technology. In this particular case, I get up and it's telling me that my account has been deactivated. Now, at this point, I'm already been under immense spiritual attacks for the last 5 years. I know that sounds drastic, but I mean, and it may not look like it through social media. I'm not really sure, but that's the truth. And so I'm like, man, now come on, this is technology. How could this be giving me web-based technology at that? With credentials, and so. How could I not have the right permissions to be able to have my space deactivated? I had to take a step back and was like, man, where would I go find the answers to challenges at? Over the last 2 weeks, I have discovered just how wrong ChatGPT can be. And so I also was still understanding that it's still valuable because it's directionally accurate. You just have to know what the hell you're talking about in order to know if it knows what it's talking about, or you'll be out here looking like a fool with ChatGPT. And so here it is now. I had to now figure out how to use tools to go and figure out why I was deactivated from my ChatGPT. And so what I decided to do was open up another ChatGPT account and then start to diagnose this and let it and just like really run an experiment to see how this was going to work on itself. Well, I can tell you this. ChatGPT did a very, very good job of identifying what the issue was. And so the other day I was trying to share something with a colleague, and inadvertently I added them to my account, which would have increased my seat count by 1. Well, the email to let me know I did that goes off to some random email address that is a known ChatGPT gap associated when the account was originated through an Apple device or a third-party device. But just let's just say this. I was able to know enough about technology and credentials and identity to know that it was telling me what was accurate, and I could see why ChatGPT would fail in this case. The problem that I didn't understand was how was it telling me that I owed $128 when I had accidentally added somebody like 2 days ago. And so I went in and was kept trying to mess around with it, and it said that I had 4 people on my account. Not, that wasn't true. Like maybe 2 and then a third person for 2 days, but not 4 people. And it says minimum 2 people on the account. So I'm trying to click the button to go down, and it won't let me go down. So I go back and I start pasting into ChatGPT screenshots, and ChatGPT does a great job to tell me that the reason why it's saying this is because of this glitch inside of their system. And this is a known issue. And so I said, you know what? My anxiety should come down now because ChatGPT is about to save the day. So ChatGPT, not my integration workspace, but the personal one, was telling me what was going on. And this was on Friday. And so I said, well, hey, what should I tell support? It types up a message for me and says, copy and paste this and click this link. And, boom, it tells me how to do it. I put everything together. I step away from the computer. I'm like, man, I was just moments away from getting ready to hand over a project to a presidential Medal of Freedom holder to tell her she's ready to go out to the world and announce whatever she's planning to do to protect and organize people around democracy. I was only moments away from being able to click the button on that, and now my workspace is gone. And so, you know what? Maybe I should just turn this over to God and take my wife to lunch. That's what I did. I copied and pasted in there, click go, boom. We went out to lunch. Today is Tuesday. I still do not have my workspace. That's 4 or 5 days. I'm not really sure what I could have done to produce a different outcome, but I've been very clear in my articulation through ChatGPT to make sure to provide ChatGPT bot all of the information to properly assess. I mean, I have been a severity level trouble ticket level 4 since Friday. And so all I got to say is Rebukyah, because that's what I have determined during this 5 years of wilderness, is that we got to get to a point where we just stop trying to figure out stuff when it's obvious that this has got to be a spiritual attack, because I should not be having to look at ChatGPT and diagnose ChatGPT issues for 6 days, 5 or 6 days, and be without my workspace and be able to got to go back and do what the regular people are doing and trying to figure out things by just using your brain and no ChatGPT. So yeah, I'm working through it. I think we're going to be able to get through it. I've sent them today. I did finally get an email today from the support team, and I broke down to them why this $128 should be removed. I broke down to them, what the issue was, and I believe I'm hopeful, because this is all based off of faith. I believe that we're going to be able to come to a favorable outcome. I'll be able to get my workspace back and be able to get back to working with Presidential Medal of Freedom holders and my other clients, because man, they sure are holding me up. They sure are holding me up. And so I got to hit them with a rebuke you right out of the gates. This episode is going to be about that. And so, I might as well go ahead and talk a little bit about rebuke you. And so, as I said, over the last 5 years, I've been pretty public in what I've been creating. And what I've been creating has been in response to an immense amount of, let's just say, things not going my way, even though my heart was in the right place and my intentions were always pure. And, it just got to a point where, one really starts to have to question themselves. And so, in questioning myself, that gets to be a slippery slope, because if you're not around people who will actually tell you the truth about yourself or make you feel good about yourself or accept you as you are, then you could really get a little bit unbalanced. And I found myself in some of those imbalanced places at times. Now, this was all while even myself, I knew, anyone who's known me for any amount of time would tell you that Jeff's a pretty confident guy. And so in this time of not really being so sure, I just, now that I have processed things, I know I went into a space of disassociation, and I evolved into who we know now as the Techpreneur for the people. And so the Techpreneur for the people and Jeff, same person these days, most times. However, whenever Jeff's not feeling good and we still got to go get business done, the Techpreneur for the people is a place that we go to actually elevate over any type of low frequency foolishness, or people who don't want to see you for who you are, or respect you or value you, or whatever the case is. And so having to do that so often in the last 5 years, whether it was my own thoughts or whether it was kind of triggers or flashes from these traumatic PTSD moments, I developed, I guess you could say, a trigger of my own that has been very, very useful, and that is Rebukyah. And so anytime, and I got this from, if you go and look at the scriptures, it tell you, hey, look, when something ain't aligning with what the words say, you got to rebuke that. And so, boom, why not Rebukyah? That's it. It's right there. It rolls off the tongue, and everywhere I go, people stop me and ask me, hey, where'd you get that sweatshirt from? It's like it's gonna be the thing that allows for us to now take control of our own instances or our own um, traumatic experiences and just give them a rebuke right off the bat. And so we have to do that with this ChatGPT deal, because I need to be able to get back to work. So if anybody out there wants to join me in a Rebukyah, leave it in the comments. Say it out loud, because it requires us to speak. We got to speak things into existence. We can't just be saying any old thing out here. We got to say things that have fruits. And so Rebukyah is about elevating. It says it right here on the shirt. It says, rebuke the norm, walk divine. And so we got to go up top, because we got to get things done, even when there are others who don't see or believe that we are going to get things done. And so this and what I am doing or exhibiting in this moment is exactly that. Quite often, every day, I try to get up and check, what I've done in the past. And Facebook is a good place to do that, to look at your memories, and not just for the last 5 years, but really for as long as this thing goes back. I can see myself walking towards this moment. And so we almost there. And so ChatGPT and OpenAI, I need for you guys to do better about your customer service. I know I have to be in the top whatever percentage of users, because hey, I'm TechP. And what is it like for me to have to sit for 5 or 6 days? Come on, guys. But I will tell you that it's a spiritual attack, because you cannot have a big a business as they have and be treating customers this way. And so I'm not even offended. I think I was supposed to have this experience so we could have this conversation. And so I could be a demonstration to all how you can maintain your composure in the middle of the storm, because guess what? That's like 2 years worth of work that's in there that, now I got to think about, how do I diversify this deal? Because they got too much leverage. If they got all of my IP inside of this machine, and now I get locked out because of their deal, and then I got to wait around on ChatGPT bot. All right, cool. I got it. I got it. I don't. This is just another one of those moments where I get to feel unseen by technology that's supposed to know your identity. Like, wow. I understand the people who try to ignore that I exist. I get it. They may not like accountability, or they may not like, or be comfortable with the pursuit of healing. I'm not really sure. It's not for me to understand. However, but technology that does it, come on, man. Rebukyah, ChatGPT. Rebukyah. All right. The builder's bird. Let's see what we got here next. Yesterday, did you guys go out? I need you guys to go over to the OGTV YouTube channel, or you can scroll wherever you're looking at this at. This what we're doing right now. I need you guys to check out the latest episode of Hey Girl. We had Mama Stay Slang, Cameron McKinney, my wife, my wonderful wife. I can't wait till she starts to begin to tell the story of what it's been like to be my partner in the middle of this experience. It's going to be one for the ages, I can't wait to support that. But yesterday she was talking about they had a show in person, and they were talking about her and her co-host Elena Huffman. They had a show about, I think it was called "When the Strong Woman Gets Tired," and I've never been a woman, but I know what it's been like to be with my wife and who I've been to my wife for the last 5 years. I know what it's. We will celebrate this Sunday. We will celebrate 18 years. 18 years. We'll be married 18 years this Sunday. And so I do know that she's tired. And so I do know what that energy feels like. And so when I'm talking to others in the community, I definitely don't know any of them as well as I know my wife, but I can sense that there is a feeling of tiredness. Um, and so I thought it was a great conversation for her and Elena to have. You guys should check it out. It's today out on YouTube, and it will also be inside of our social media community. Integrations, social media, responsible social. It'll be inside of there. There's a Hey Girl space for women, and so it'll be there as well. And so what we envision is these types of conversations, these types of spaces, to actually focus on, like, hey, you know what, let's collectively think about how we can be smarter about this and how we can organize and do different things. And one of the things that I'm most proud of, and I don't know if anything would ever top this, we are about to announce a one integration supporting um, what arguably could be the greatest American alive. Um, there's no question about her contributions um, to America, or to social justice or civil rights. And so, she's got, and I'm learning as I go, but she's definitely got a way about what she's thinking about. And it supports our vision of being able to provide people the tools and resources, just like I've been saying for the last 4 years of what we're going to do. And here we are, we're doing it. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. What I'm waiting on is quite frankly, is for the people to get a chance to hear what I'm saying right now and actually see the fruits and offer the fruits. Because if they don't show up for this person, if you all don't show up for this person, uh, I know that I did. I know that I would. And so you guys get to make your own decisions. And so um, as the people come, uh, having conversations and fruit being offered, like "Hey Girl," um, that is a way for us to now start to provide the resources real time, and people knowing where they can go to get those resources real time, uh, to support themselves. I mean, I got a phone call yesterday. Hey Jeff, what's up? Uh, I have some questions. I got a mediation coming up. How does that feel? What does that look like? And so I answered the questions, and the person said, "Man, I just really didn't know who else to call." Well, um, I didn't have anyone to call when I went through it, and I can tell you the feeling. I sometimes feel it in my body, the same types of things. And so we got to be able to have a place for people to go to actually have some fun. But then when they need us, They know where to go to tell us what's up. It's one integration is for social media. And so, hey, girl, check it out. Um, I thought it was really, 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 really dope. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is another type of rebuke you type of moment. Now we all know that there's any place that you can go and have it your way, it's not Burger King anymore. The top place, leave your comments. If I might have my opinion, you're gonna have your opinion in the comments. You guys, when you see this, drop what do you think is the first and best place for you to have it your way. I'm gonna say that my bet, TechP's bet, and I don't make wagers. But if I were, I would say it would be Costco. Costco has always been a place where when you go there, everything works well. They take good care of you. If it don't work, you take it back to Costco. That's it. That's it. So I get through today. Part of my day, what I need to do is I need to go to Costco. The wife said, we need these things from Costco. When you're in the middle of the wilderness, you don't really go to Costco because Costco can add up. You're going to walk out of Costco with a $300 bill. I mean, there's just no way around it. There's no way around it. And so I went in there and I was very, very careful and making sure I was following all the, the list and taking things off and saying we can do without that, being very, very mindful of these things. And so I get up to the front and I go to check out, and the lady scans the card and then she says, oh, your membership thing is due. It's going to be $130. And then she starts, beep, beep. I said, wait. Explain that to me again. And I remembered instantly that Costco check deal that they send you was on the refrigerator at home. So I let her ring it up. I said, you know what? Just hold this. My wife told me to spend this much. Let me go and get that check, and then I'll come back. I'm just right around the corner, and then I'll get that, and then I can give you your voucher, because this money, that little piece of paper, ain't worth nothing nowhere else other than Costco. And I don't know when I'm coming back to Costco. The next time my wife tell me to come is when I'm coming. So, boom, I did that. I said, "Can you guys hold this?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna run and get that." I walk back into the store. I don't see that young lady who told me that. I see a manager. Well, I didn't know she was a manager. I just saw a person with a red vest on. And I say, okay, yeah, I was just here. And they said they was going to hold my this, that, and the other. And she says, she looks around. She said, it's not here. You're going to have to go back and shop. I said, what do you mean? She says, you're going to have to go back and shop. I said, well, I was just here. And they told me that they were going. She's like, well, do you know what you had? I can go back and I can do your shopping for you. I paused. I asked her, I said, hey, do you work for Costco? Do you work here? This is Costco. I said, why would people who work at Costco tell me when I ask them if they can hold my basket? Why would they tell me they can hold my basket if they couldn't hold my basket at Costco? So no, I don't want you to go shop for me. I want you to use your radio, your walkie-talkie, and I want you to ask people around here, whoever was on these lanes 20 minutes ago, do they know where this basket is? She starts radioing, and I'm gonna go check the break room. A girl walks right up to me. She says, oh, you're looking for your basket? It's right there. Walks me over there. This Costco representative she comes back out. Turns out she is a supervisor. And she does not acknowledge her wrongness. She ends up checking me out. It just was not a Costco experience. And so I'm not going to put that on Costco. What I'm going to put that on, because how rare is that for Costco? Costco is usually pretty solid. What I'm going to say is she might have been living in America today, because there's a lot of people in America that's going through a whole lot. It's a lot going on. It's real heavy. What it seemed like for me. I know it's heavy on me. And so I'm going to give her some grace today, but I'm gonna say that wasn't like Costco though, and so that deserves a Rebukyah. Had to go up top. Had to go up top and give her some grace. We're not going to allow for her. This is supposed to be Costco. And so it was not being Costco today. And so that is fine. We won't, we will. I didn't even leave any messages for the management. I just said, hey, listen, she's an American. She's having some issues, and nobody's in America living perfect. From what I can, well, there are some, but the majority of us are not. And so let's give her that space. Let's give her that space. Well, let's see here. In closing, I need for you all to please do prepare yourselves. Go to www.oneintegration.com, fill out a form, make sure that you are in position to get any type of notifications about the upcoming uh, uh, happenings, whether it be with civil rights legends that are continuing their legacy with us, or with our support. Um, or it be retired professional athletes that are uh, signing in to partner with One Integration through One NFL, and our strategies to be able to bring retired, current, youth athletes together to deliver a one unified next foundational leadership experience. Um, that's one program, or whatever your dreams are. We're here to support. Um, we care most about making sure that no one feels alone. And so, this, as you heard me reference a few times, this past wilderness season, there was a lot of alone, and you have some time to think, and some of those times in thought were not necessarily that comfortable. And so for me, I did what I needed to do to make sure that I was not on a slippier slope than I needed to be. And so I went into some intensive therapy. I met some great people, and I started to I understand what tools I needed in order to continue on the path of healing. And so we're not all the way there. I don't know if we ever will be, but this is part of it. And so, for any of you out there that want to support that, or that for themselves or on their own journey, I encourage you to get your Rebukyah for yourself. We want that to be a constant reminder, almost like a trigger to elevate. When you think about what the good book and the word says, it says lean not to your own understanding. And so if somebody don't understand you, and you don't understand them, or whatever the situation is, if it don't align with your dreams and what the fruits are, then hey, look, it's meant for your greater good, your well-being. Everything is meant to prosper us. And so I don't need to understand that, but let me just rebuke you. Let me just elevate. Let me just get up top. Let me just keep going. And so um that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. And so um uh, let me call myself what they call me up here through this new ChatGPT deal. That's wrong. Techpeep. I guess today for this episode, I'm Techpeep. This is the TechP What's the What show. In real life, I'm the techpreneur for the people, the wing king, Jeff McKinney. Peace.